Alright, come in. Oh, hey, how's it going? I hope you don't mind, we have to get a quick errand done for us first, but, yeah, so just take a seat. Oh, you want to talk about that? Daniel! They want to talk about Winter's Tale! Fuck! So before we talk about Winter's Tale, we should first talk about what different kinds of bad movies there are in the world. There are essentially three categories. The first category is so bad it's good. This is where you get stuff like The Room.
Did you, know that chocolate is the symbol of love?
And Troll 2.
A double-decker bologna sandwich!
And for the real freaks out there, Batman and Robin.
Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming.
Then of course, there's our personal favorite, The Stuff.
Are you alright? What's the matter?
Beyond this category, we have stuff in the vein of Last Airbender. This is the so bad it's miserable, just offensive shit. You can get, you know, the Freeburg and Seltzer comedies like Meet the Spartans in here. Then in the third category, we have what is so bad it's boring. Arguably the worst. By far. Because at least an offensive film is entertaining. But this last category is filled with stuff like the Da Vinci Code. Or Now You See Me.
Teleportation helmet.
Okay, what the hell's going on here?
Oh, God. Winter's Tale is not in... I got it right here. Winter's Tale is not in any of those categories. It's actually between the last two. It's both so boring it's miserable and so bad it's offensive.
Like a cinematic gulag.
Yeah, that's what we call it. The gulag. I'm trying to think of an example. Something else in that category.
I'm tipping my tongue out. Zardoz.
Alright, let's go.
Hold on.
Peter Lake!
So Winter's Tale. Oof. Alright, so I guess things to talk about. Will Smith. Will Smith's in it. And then he's the judge. And by the judge, I mean Lucifer. Because for some reason the movie thinks that's a twist.
You know, Burley Soames, Russell Crowe's character, talks to his minions and refers to him as the judge, and then 5 seconds later, we're in some sort of weird sewer thing under New York, and he's Lucifer, and has a grave encounter's mouth, and what is Winter's Tale even about, Daniel? And what's with that horse? So, in the opening moments, it's there in the alley, and Burley Soames' minions recognize it, but no one knows what it is. Is the spirit of vengeance? What was it?
Yeah, Colin Farrell's the Ghost Rider in this movie. No. So the horse is some kind of magical horse. We know it's magical because not too long after Colin Farrell gets on it, he flies. The horse flies. It doesn't have wings or things, it's not Pegasus, it just flies.
So over.
So then he ends up talking to a generic Native American character that he knows is only in the scene. And of course, because this person is ethnic, he has ancient mystical wisdom.
Grandfather, tell me your legends.
And he tells them that it's an ancient, generic Native American spirit here. And then Colin Farrell asks, oh, so like an angel? And then the Native American guy says, well, that's what you call it, but the names are older. You're like, okay, so this film is trying to kind of give us a whole, you know, all sort of supernatural stuff is the same supernatural stuff, just different names. Alright, let's see where it goes with that. No, because as we mentioned before, Lucifer's in this? No, this is expressly Christian. There are angels.
Embarrassing, no?
Why don't we tell them what it's about?
Pull it over there.
Peter, our people have 10 songs. The songs tell us that inside of each of us is a miracle. And that miracle is meant for one person and one person alone.
I've got it, alright? Okay. Colin Farrell. You open up the movie, he's in 2014 for some reason. He's got long hair, and he's all fucking... looks...
Yeah, like a cracked out Keanu Reeves, you know, he doesn't know what's going on.
But then we cut back to 1914 or whatever. And fucking, he's young and like more vibrant or whatever.
Not
he's the
out.
fucking Highlander, alright?
Okay, I'm getting this, I'm liking it. Is that racist?
No, that's not racist, calling him the Highlander. Alright, so, but then Pearly Soames, he gives that whole fucking speech about how great it is to be evil.
Ideas. They can do more good than harm. And that would be the opposite of the plan. You see, it's doing harm. That is the very point.
And then he's the fucking Kurgan.
Yeah, no, he fucking
Russell
headbutts.
Crowe is the fucking Kurgan.
Don't ever speak to me again. Do you understand? Good.
Carl Urban, this movie is the worst remake of Highlander. It's the third worst remake of Highlander ever. Alright?
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
This is really beautiful. Kind of reminds me of something, though.
You know what?
The end of Winter's Tale.
What is that movie even about?
Alright, fuck it.
Off the ice!
Alright, Winter's Tale. So, Colin Farrell is a Highlander and he's walking around, he finds a box and he flashes back to when he was a baby and his parents had tuberculosis, so they put him on a baby boat and they threw him to New York. Then cut to, he's an adult, he's running over fences in 1910 and Pearly Soames is chasing him and Russell Crowe's all like, ooh, I'm gonna get that boy. And then fucking, he's gonna try and kill Colin Farrell, but Colin Farrell finds a magic horse and the magic horse flies him over a fence and gets him out of there.
Well, hello there. So while my erstwhile companion is yammering away in there, I thought we'd get to some of the finer details of Winter's Tale. Specifically, Colin Farrell. He is just a stellar actor in this. Like, I'm not even kidding you. He is amazing. Like, no one told him that he was in a movie this shit. Like, I compare him to Christopher Judge of Stargate in that no one told him he was for a mid-budget sci-fi serial. Colin Farrell brought the heat.
And then Pearly Soames is like, I'm gonna get him because he doesn't like stabbing people like we do, because we steal jewels and we steal miracles. Because they steal miracles. Everyone's got a miracle, didn't you know that? So anyway, Colin Farrell's like, I gotta get the fuck out of this city, come on, horse. And then the horse is all like, nah, go get up in that house, you'll see. So Colin Farrell's like, fine, I want to go steal shit from that house. But it turns out this house happens to contain a young woman who has consumption, which in this movie means she is a magical fairy lady who melts snow with her feet.
Now, according to our good friend Wikipedia, general signs and symptoms of consumption include fevers, chills, night sweats, loss of appetite, weight loss, and fatigue. Significant nail clubbing may also occur.
Then he gets talking to her and he's all like, hey, I'm Colin Farrell, what's going on? She's like, ah. And then so they go to run off together to where her family is across this lake. But then Pearly Soames shows up and gives his whole fucking evil is its own reward speech. He's about to stab her, and then the fucking magic horse gets her out of there, and they go across the lake. Pearly Soames can't go across the lake, of course, because of the old rules. So he goes to the judge, who was actually Lucifer, who was actually Will Smith. Then fucking he goes there and he's all like, hey, Will Smith, let me go after this fucking punk-ass kid. They got miracles. I gotta get those miracles. Will Smith's like, find some other fucking way, asshole. Don't troll me. I'm reading my book. Then fucking Pearly's like, alright, fine, I'll find this angel. And this angel, I'm gonna be like, hey, give this fucking roofie to fucking the lady. And it's gonna be great. Just do that. So they fucking cut back up to the north of the lake. William Hurt's fucking slipping through his role as usual, but then he's all like, you look like a criminal. And Colin Farrell's like, well, I am a criminal, but I stole your daughter's heart. Fuck you. Alright, so then the fucking house is gonna blow up. He saves it because Colin Farrell's good with mechanisms. This will become important for some reason later. Then fucking they go dancing, him and the lady who has consumption that melts the snow. Then they bone, and then she dies because of the Mickey that got slipped to her by the angel. Colin Farrell takes her downstairs to the garden after she's dead to kiss her because a little girl told him earlier that that would make her live forever. Guess what? Doesn't work. So then they go back to New York to bury her. And fucking Pearly Soames finds out he's there, then headbutts him off the Brooklyn Bridge, falls in some water, wakes up, doesn't know who he is. 100 years later, fucking he's walking around, meets a little girl, Jennifer Connelly, who is apparently in this fucking movie, even though the movie should have ended like 10 minutes ago at this point.
Just to point out, it's been 100 years since Colin Farrell became amnesic, and in that whole time, much longer than the time before he was amnesic, he has not developed any new character traits, goals, personality, or anything beyond some vague hinting at the person he might have to save in that time.
Fucking, then he meets the little girl who told him about the garden when she was a child. She must be 110 years old. Then finds out that, of course, the miracle really was that she gave her life when I was boning her so I could live forever, so I could use my miracle to save this little girl who has cancer. So he whisks her away to above the lake. Pearly's there, but Pearly gets turned into a snowman, so it doesn't even fucking matter. And then fucking Colin Farrell, he kisses the little girl in the garden, which is creepy as shit. Her cancer is cured because, after all, human beings are just machines, and he's good with machines. And then the fucking horse flies off over New York, and it's fucking fantastic. Happy endings, lens flares, and done.
What a story, Mark.
Alright, so a quick word on pacing. This film is exceptionally poorly paced, and you can tell because it ends 3 fucking times. Unless your name is Clue, you probably shouldn't be doing that.
Not only that, the film is actually like 4 incredibly conventional plot lines strung together, and all of them at lengths they shouldn't be. Like, all the actiony information about Pearly Soames and Colin Farrell is directly clumped at the beginning, and then there's kind of a romance plot, and then there's Colin Farrell being amnesic, and then it turns into a saving a sick kid film.
Yeah, no, and for some reason it opens with a frame device of him in the future, so you know that's coming, the entire movie, but there's no reason for the frame device. The film just wants to look more profound than it is.
And really, that's kind of the problem with this film, is that it is a bunch of incredibly conventional things hacked up and put together as to be as flat and bland as possible because they believe that there's something they can say with it.
Like someone took a Reader's Digest, chopped it up, and turned it into a Picasso.
Yeah, really.
Let's talk about internal logic real quick. Internal logic talks about this concept that genre fiction doesn't have no rules. It just has different rules in the world we live in. So in Battlestar Galactica, they have faster than light travel, something that we don't know can actually be done in the real world. We accept this though because they establish certain rules about it. It takes 33 minutes to spin up the drive. A bad sign of internal logic would be if one episode it took 33 minutes and the next episode it took 10. And that's essentially what happens in Winter's Tale.
Do you spend time wondering about the world? The workings of things?
No, sir.
Right. Well, better not to start now.
In order for suspension of disbelief to work, the rules should be consistent because our brain likes to latch on to concepts and ideas that are concrete so that we can actually believe them. In Winter's Tale, it's all over the place.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, a lot of people are like, why does this matter? It matters. Rules create drama. Boundaries create drama. If characters can just come back to life and die over and over again, it doesn't matter. If anything can happen anytime, there's no reason to trust anything you're seeing on the screen or care about it.
So, in Winter's Tale, the idea of miracles. Every human has a miracle, and they can use this miracle to enact something special on something that is very close and dear to them.
Although we only ever see the one type of miracle, which is life.
That is true. So, we could assume, therefore, that it has something to do with life. For example, Colin Farrell being the Highlander is said to be the miracle of the woman that he fucks to death. And in that case, why aren't there more immortal people just walking around? Colin Farrell's amnesiac not because he's immortal, but because he suffered a severe blow to the head when Pearlie Soames headbutted him off the bridge. Which means that other people, in theory, who are immortal would remember it. And I imagine they'd be talking about this shit. No one appears to know that miracles exist, except for the angels and the demons.
And yeah, like, he managed to run to the one fucking person who would know who he was.
Yeah.
Because, again, fate, destiny, the tools of all hack screenwriters. So here's another sign of bad internal logic. This film never establishes anything. It just jumps back and forth. That's bad enough. But it actually straight up contradicts itself at one point. In the beginning, Pearlie is trying to find Colin Farrell's character. And he has his little crystals with light to look through to try and find him. But he says he specifically can't find him because he's human. But he can find the magic horse. So he uses it to find him and tracks him down. Then later in the film, when he needs to find Colin Farrell, he uses that same tactic, even though he specifically said he couldn't. That is a sign of bad internal logic. That is a sign of lazy writing.
And here's the thing. You could argue that maybe Colin Farrell became supernatural or something when the miracle made him immortal, but the movie never states that. And this happens as well. Like, the movie assumes that you know that things are important if not. Like, Pearlie Soames uses the blood of a virgin, and he makes sure that, it's very important that it's a virgin, in order to figure out what the miracle, Colin Farrell's miracle, is going to be used to do. However, it's never mentioned before this, or even really, emphasized until he really incredibly emphasizes it, that you need the blood of a virgin to do this.
And besides, fucking motherfucker never shuts up. You think the first thing he would do using that light thing is being like, now I can find him because I can do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one more reason this film is just completely shitty and has nothing to go for it. And we love genre fiction, but you have to have those internal logics for it to work.
Yeah. Crosses mythoses too. As we mentioned before, it's very strongly Christian, but it also tries to bullshit in some Native American mythology and some made up shit and the whole miracle thing. But it very strongly is trying to evoke a Christian mythos. That internal logic as well. And none of that really even begins to touch the final piece, which is this sort of all-enveloping concept of the light. Several characters talk about the light and how it does anything, but we never learn anything about the light.
Other than it apparently justifies all the things that happen in this movie.
And then,
which is funny,
we rock into a room just full of lens flare.
Yeah. Alright, so that's Winter's Tale. It's a really bad movie. Don't see it. Not that you were planning to.
Still doesn't explain the fucking lens flares.
The sicker I become, the more clearly I can see that everything is connected by light.
You can't stop me, Titan! I have the light!
The humans are superior!
Snow, snow, go away. Come again some other day, 'cause I can't take another snowdrift round my heart again. The Beach Boys are playing on the radio. God knows it's a